All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The moment we have all been waiting for. The Detroit Lions have just won their first playoff game since 32 years ago, 24-23 at home against the Los Angeles Rams in the first round of the wild card playoffs, folks. This game was actually just like the entire Detroit Lions season. I was just sitting here thinking to myself, if this Lions team could put together 4 complete total quarters in a game at a consistent level, they would be like a 14-win team and make the Super Bowl. And who knows, they might still do that because they win and they don't even play their best football. The first half was all Detroit Lions. They put up 21 points. They did allow 17 points, but the momentum was in their favor. The offense fizzles in the second half, but the defense really stepped up and they did a phenomenal job of not giving up touchdowns and only allowing field goals. Folks, this game, they just won 24-23, folks. The first win, playoff Lions in 32 years. We have been waiting for this moment since pretty much 365 days ago, plus like 2-3 years. Lions fans have been waiting their whole life for this. 24 years old, I don't think I've ever seen a Detroit Lions playoff win. Like, this was a historic victory against Matthew Stafford, led by Jared Goff, the first time ever in the NFL's postseason history where you had 2 opposing teams, quarterbacks, squaring up against each other on their new teams. One for the record book. Jared Goff did everything he needed to do, 22-27, 277 yards and a touchdown. But shout out to Ben Johnson. Shout out to Aaron Glenn for getting your offense and defense right all season for this football game and especially tonight against the Rams. And then obviously shout out to Dan Campbell. Shout out to the management. Shout out to all of you fans watching this video and who watched this game and have supported the Detroit Lions for probably your entire life, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into tonight's video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, especially if we could try and get this video to 500 likes for this playoff W, it would mean the absolute world to me. So, man, this was one crazy football game. The Detroit Lions defense gave up 425 total yards of offense. They put up 24 points. And to a lot of people and statistics as well, the biggest weakness for the Detroit Lions heading into this football game was the defense. And you're playing the Los Angeles Rams, who have Matthew Stafford, who did his thing. We all know Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua, who broke the NFL rookie receiving yards in a postseason game. You got Cooper Kupp. You got a bunch of Kyren Williams. You've got a ton of talent on the opposing offensive side, on the Rams offense. And folks, the defense giving up just 23 points. We're going to talk about this all freaking week. That's a success. But this team does and did exactly what they need to do to win football games. They keep it clean. They move the chains when they need to. They get stops when they need to. And, I mean, if you're a Lions fan who watched this football game, you're probably very anxious in that second half, especially. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I feel like this is something we've been saying all freaking season. And I guess we got to wait for the Buccaneers versus Eagles. I'm feeling really good about that. You guys know I'm a Packers fan. I don't think a Lions-Packers NFC championship game is out of the equation here, folks. This Detroit Lions team, not only this season after winning 12 football games and tonight's postseason victory, they're going to be good for so many years. This team is so unbelievably young on offense and defense. They've got the cap space. They've got the draft capital. They've got the draft knowledge. They know how to draft. They know how to acquire new talent, whether that's in the draft or free agency or trades. This is one unbelievable culture that you just do not see every season in the National Football League. And I can't wait to see how far this Detroit Lions team goes. I will say, that game was a little nerve-wracking. I never particularly felt like the Lions were going to lose it. Although on the last Rams possession, I did potentially think they were going to put a field goal on the board or they were going to score a touchdown on the board, and it was going to be up to Detroit to go and just win the football game. And I had full faith that they were going to do that. Luckily, it did not come to that. Aiden Hutchinson, we got to shout out this entire defense Kirby Joseph with the absolutely huge hit on Tyler Higbee. I hope Tyler Higbee is okay, but huge hit, just a pivotal hit. We got Alex Anzalone who got banged up in the game. He came back in. He had 8 total tackles. CJ Gardner-Johnson, in just his second game back from injury, he had 7 total tackles. But Aiden Hutchinson, folks, he had 2 sacks on the night. He had double-digit quarterback pressures. He had a bunch of quarterback hits. He was all up in Matthew Stafford's face this evening. And Aiden Hutchinson, an established star in the league. I remember saying it all regular season, like, we need to start using a word when we're talking about Aiden Hutchinson. It's not star, it is star, but we need to start talking about potential superstar here. I know that's in the far future. We got to focus on the upcoming game once we know who it's going to be in about 24 hours from now. But I just want to say shout out to that defense, shout out to Aaron Glenn, and shout out to everybody involved on that Lions defense for getting the job done. Offensively, Jared Goff doing his thing, 22 of 27, 277 yards, 1 touchdown, and obviously most important, Jared Goff's specialty this season, especially 0 interceptions. The Detroit Lions had 0 total turnovers on the night, and that is just pivotal. It is just absolutely pivotal. Now, we'll take a look at the Detroit Lions running back statistics, but don't let the stats fool you, all right? They ran the ball 25 times for 79 yards. Technically, that is only a 3.2 yard average of yards per carry, but they had 2 huge touchdowns from both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, especially in the backfield, 4 catches for 43 yards. David Montgomery also with 1 catch for 11 yards. We've been talking about preseason. We've been talking about it in the regular season. We're definitely talking about it now that we're in the postseason. The Detroit Lions have one of the best 1-2 punches in the running back room in the National Football League, especially for the future with my rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery, 14 carries, 57 yards and a touchdown. A lot of those were just huge yardages, huge first downs, especially in the second half, and especially to just clinch that victory for this Detroit Lions team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, after having over 1,500 receiving yards on the season and some way, somehow not getting invited to the Pro Bowl, 7 catches for 110 yards. He did his thing. Josh Reynolds, 5 catches for 50 yards. This dude has been consistent. This dude has been reliable. He's going up just like Jared Goff against his former team in the Los Angeles Rams. We saw some early catches from Jameson Williams, 2 catches for 19 yards. And then obviously we got our banged up rookie who some way, somehow played in tonight's football game and caught a very important touchdown pass. That's obviously Mr. Sam Laporta, who finished this evening with 3 catches for 14 yards and that important touchdown. So folks, I get it. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't sexy, but guys, this is playoff football, and none of that matters because you are advancing. The Detroit Lions are advancing to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs for the first time in way too freaking long. Lions fans, let's run up this comment section and definitely get ready for daily Detroit Lions content this upcoming weekend or this upcoming week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We got a lot out to you guys. So enjoy this victory, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see